all it takes. 3 seconds can change your life. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, it takes just 3 seconds to create a first impression. That's it. You're creating first impressions all the time. You're walking down the street and somebody sees you, bam, you've created a first impression. You're fighting with the auto driver and somebody sees you, bam, you've created a first impression. You're standing in line, 10 a.m., Sunday morning, your mom has sent you to the grocery store, you're dressed in pajamas. You've created a first impression with every person that has seen you. Yes, first impressions are very important. But you tell me, can first impressions change your life? If you said no to this question, then you may want to think again. First impressions are very important and they change everything. You create a good impression and everything that you do, everything that you say will be looked at in a positive note. Make a bad impression and everything that you do, everything that you say will be taken negatively by the person who has the impression. First impressions mean so much. They're more than just like a flashing They are more than just a flash in someone's mind. They are so much more. They control everything. The way people react to you, the way people respond to you, the way that everything is, the way that your life works, the reactions that you get from the people around you, the respect that you get, are all created by first impressions. First impressions may take just 3 seconds to make, but they take up to 5 years to forget. I'm sure it's happened to you. You would have met someone and you didn't like them. Later, you became friends with them, and it must have played on in your mind. Why didn't I like her? Why didn't I like him? He seems like such a sweet guy right now. These impressions can take so long to erase that they have such a big impact on your life. Now let me come to the part where we talk about how to create a first impression. First impressions were not very well researched until the 1960s. In the 1960s, a man, a professor at the University of California, named Mr. Albert, decided to study communication. He wanted to find out what it was in communication that really made the message come across and what it was that was really important. So what he did was he studied the presidential campaign and he asked people, right from little kids to old people, what it was that they thought were important. And the results that he found really astounded him. He divided communication into 3 sections. The first was the verbal communication. These were the words that were actually said. The verbal communication only contributed 7% to the message. The second part was the vocal communication. This was the way in which the words were said. The emotion, the tone, the pitch, the volume, all of these contributed 38% to the message. Now this leaves a big 55% of the communication which was unaccounted for. And surprisingly, this 55% of communication was the facial expressions of the candidates as they were speaking. Now this study only took into account facial expressions because at that time when they were doing the research, whatever was on TV, they only captured the face of the candidates, so only 55% was calculated. Now think about it. If 55% of your communication is visual, when only your face is into account, think about how much more it is when your whole body is seen. Every time you're standing in front of somebody, every time you're talking to somebody and you're talking to them in person, you have a whole lot more than just your face that is communicating. Recent research from AICI, which is the Association of Image Consulting that's based in the US, has found that more than 80% of your visual communication more than 80% of communication has to do with visual communication. This visual communication is very important because this is what people see. Before you speak, before you open your mouth, you are communicating visually. You have said so much more. You've given out 80% of your message before you've opened your mouth, and that is what visual communication is about. That is how you create a first impression. You stand in front of people, the way that you dress, the way that you groom. If your hair is well done, if your hair is neat, if your nails are neat, if your clothes are well put together, and your body language is good, your posture is good, your gestures are good, you've completed 80% of your message. Your battle is more than half won. There's only 20% left for you to do with the rest of your communication. Everything makes a big difference. The way that you carry yourself is so important. All I want to say is that it basically works on one simple rule. When you treat yourself with love and respect, it means that you can treat other people with love and respect as well. When you care for yourself, you can care for other people and other things. If you cannot maintain your hair, if you can't maintain your nails, if you can't maintain your clothes, then how are you going to be able to do anything else? I'm not saying a first impression is everything, but a first impression makes a big difference. It's your foot in the door. Your second chance, your third chance, your fourth chance, your 50th chance, your 100th chance, they all come after the first one. But you have to earn the first one. You have to be somebody before you actually are somebody. Think about it. You go for an interview and the person doesn't know everything about you. You've left an impression. You decide to marry somebody or date somebody, you don't know everything about them. All you have with you is an impression of who they are. Everything that happens in life works on the impression. Everything that you have in life works on the impressions that you've created. Very rarely do people know everything about you. Most of the time, they just know the impression that they have. You have just 3 seconds to change your life. But this 3 seconds repeats again and again, hundreds and thousands of times every day. Spend 10 minutes of your day creating this 3 seconds, and you will have the best life that you could ever ask for. Over to you.